What's up guys, today I'll be showing you how I made this DIY axe throwing setup in my backyard with a fenced-in cage and LEDs built in. This is one project we had on the chopping block for a while now, and make sure you guys stick around to see if we were able to bury the hatchet with this project. I wonder how many puns we can come up with throughout this entire project. Here we go. To start off, I laid out all of the 2x4s that will frame out the axe cage on the ground. Each of these is 8 foot in length. Then we went on to connect all of the corners, as well as attach all of the vertical posts, which will be 10 foot 2x4s to allow for some extra height when throwing the axes. I'm starting by using 3 screws at each connection point, and in the center of the entire frame, I'll just be using one 10-foot vertical post instead of having 2. This post will sit halfway between each horizontal post that meets in the middle and will be used to attach the entire length together. I'm also attaching angled supporting posts to each vertical piece to ensure the entire structure is rigid. I'm then coming back and reinforcing each connection point even further with some 90-degree metal brackets. I'm using large brackets for the corners that have 3 posts being connected together, and then some smaller brackets for the connection points with just 2 points at a right angle. Then, we move on to connecting the same design to the top of this frame, and I would highly recommend having a buddy help you out with this part, since it's extremely hard to balance the post when connecting across the 2 vertical posts at the top. I ended up using a clamp on both ends to give myself a helping hand, and I also found it a lot easier to screw in one end with one screw, rotate the other end up, and then screw that side in, and then go back and secure both horizontal pieces with more screws and brackets. This took a long time since it meant I was going up and down the ladder over and over again, and it could have went a lot faster again with a buddy helping out. Once the frame was all built and secured, we can move on to attaching the chicken wire to this frame. I'm using 2 foot wide chicken wire that's just about $8 for 50 foot each. This helps keep the cost down. To attach this to the frame, I was able to use staples around the entire structure. When I got to the end, I used this cutoff wheel from Ryobi to cut off the excess fence and secure the leftover pieces to the post with more staples. This is a good time to stop and thank the sponsor of this video, the Home Depot. They supplied me with these awesome new Ryobi 1 Plus HP tools to make this project happen. For this build, the Ryobi Compact Cutoff Tool was an awesome tool to quickly cut off the extra fence instead of having to go to each connection point and clip it, which would have taken just that much longer. This tool comes with 3 wheels, a diamond tile blade, a metal cutoff wheel, and a carbide abrasive blade, letting you cut several different materials ranging from metals, plastics, drywall, tile, and more. I absolutely loved being able to hold this compact tool with one hand while effortlessly cutting through the metal fence, and this really helped speed up the project. I've linked this tool below for you to check out, and thanks again Home Depot. Now, let's get back to the build. After putting one layer of the 2-foot fence around the entire frame horizontally, I'm now able to start putting the rest of the fence vertically over the entire frame, since this is how the 50-foot length would best be optimized. To ensure that the fence would be closed off at all the cutoff points, I used a lot of zip ties to tie it all together. After putting the first run of fence across vertically, I was able to cut that in half and use the remainder of that length for another vertical run. Now we're all done with the frame and can move on to the target. I cut down 3 8-foot 2x10 boards down in half and laid them out 5 across and 1 on top to make the rectangle for this target. I then cut out some cheap plywood that fit the exact dimensions on top and joined it to the 2x10 boards with some wood screws. After that, I attached two 2x6 boards to the sides of this rectangle, which will be the legs holding up the entire target. I positioned them so that the center of this target would be 63 inches above the ground, which is the regulation placement. Then, I cut one 8-foot 2x4 in half, and then two more 2x4s with 45-degree angles, and made triangle structures to be the supporting base for each leg. I first attached these 2x4s to each other to make the triangle shape, then I set up the entire target and leaned it against the ladder that I was using earlier. And then I was able to use wood screws to attach these supports straight to the bottom of the legs and allow for the target to stand up on its own. It's always a nice feeling when you pull away the ladder and find that the target doesn't fall back down. Also, I'm really happy I decided to build this target inside of the cage because it would have been really heavy to move on its own, and this made it possible since I only had to drag it a few feet to its last place. Next, we can start painting on the target circles. We need a 7-inch, 17-inch, and 27-inch circle for our target areas, and I'm going to be using my normal cardboard trick to cut out some perfect circles. I'll take a screwdriver and make a hole at one point, and then measure half the inch of the circle I need, put the screwdriver in again, making another hole, and keep doing this for each circle diameter that I need. Then I can take the screwdriver and put that in one hole at the center of the circle, and a pencil and put that into the different holes that I made for the different lengths, and then I can just draw really easy circles. Unfortunately, I don't have a similar trick for painting on perfect circles with paint spray, so I just did the best I could to follow the lines with the spray, and if I was to do this again, I'd probably come back and mask out some perfect circles for the spray paint so that it wouldn't have the drips and run over that you see here. But this will work just fine for some backyard fun. Now, let me ask you a question. Did you really think we could make this product without throwing in some LEDs? No way. So we're going to throw in some LEDs across all the vertical and horizontal runs here, and then we're all done. As you can see here, it's good I've got this built in my backyard since I need a lot of practice throwing these axes. But to answer the question from the start of the video, no, I ended up missing the axe throw, but I was eventually able to get on the board, and after a few more tries, I'll just hopefully get better at this whole axe throwing thing. This project truly came out excellent, and I can't wait to have some buddies over for some good old fun in the backyard. I hope you guys enjoyed this product build, and as always, thanks again for watching.